Here go Maxie, y'all.
Trust me, babe, I know it's hard loving me, but don't you worry if you can only stand a storm.
I can't give it all to y'all. I can't give it. I can't give it all to you. Mm. I can't give it all to you. Welcome back. Welcome back, sexy people. Mm. Welcome back to Nights with Nicci. We had a little snafu that we had to take care of, but now, by the grace of God and Jesus' mighty name, we are live and we are rocking and rolling on all clicking on all freaking cylinders. So I'm very, very grateful for that. Thank you guys very much. Thank you for watching wherever you're watching from, whether that is Instagram. Now, let me tell you something about the little Instagram situation. I love y'all over there on Instagram, but you do know that Auntie Nikki be talking real, straightforward. Thank you guys for hanging out and sticking around. I really appreciate that. A destination could not be reached. It's cool. We on Twitter and we are on YouTube. Thank you guys. I really appreciate y'all for hanging out. Unfortunately, sometimes that's just how it goes. What's up, Instagram? I had to bring you guys on the mobile side. So I got my Instagram popping, I got my Twitter popping, and I got my Facebook popping. Hello, beautiful people. Happy Friday night to each and every one of you. I listen, this is the second time we've had to start this thing over, and guess what? You can't beat a person that don't quit. And I don't know why. I've seen so many Instagrams and so many Facebooks and so many lives go without a hitch. But for some reason, I always have, an issue. And I think it is because it's really interesting, you guys. Let me just get right on into it because who knows when the next interruption may occur, right? But what's really interesting is the conversations that I have on my platform that, I think reach the right people, right? When you think about quantity, I was talking today on my rant in the car about the difference between quantity and quality of whatever it is you're doing, content, merchandise, audience, people, whatever, right? And I think we get really caught up in numbers, and I think we've been conditioned to believe. Uh-oh, hold on. I'm sorry, IG. Uh-oh. My phone is lightweight falling apart. So hold on, y'all over there. Okay, we're gonna leave it alone. How about that? How about that? Okay. We get caught up in the numbers of it all so often, right? And I think that really prevents a lot of great content creators from pushing through, because you feel like, hey, it's just too hard. Nobody's really watching. Nobody's really paying attention. I always tell the story about one of my best friends who was like, girl, she's like, I went on one of your lives and it was like 3 people on there. And I'm like, hey, you just, it is what it is. Now, I don't necessarily believe that. I think it used to be, there used to be a saying that was numbers don't lie, but I'm starting to believe that numbers can be manipulated to lie for people. You know what I mean? And I say all that to say, without going on the whole Uda rant, right? Because we've been there, done that. Um, don't get discouraged because you don't have 10,000 people on your live like a Funky Deneva or, Tisa Tells and some of these other YouTubers out here, Tasha K's of the world. Shout out to everybody. I support all of them. Don't get discouraged because you don't have the streaming numbers of a Drake or a Beyonce, right? Just do the thing. Just do the art. Just do the thing. Just find your audience. Just share the information. And hopefully, God willing, it will reach and touch one person. I'm one person that was touched um, creatively, and something sparked within me. And because of that, I was able to go on and have a career and help inspire other people and lift other people. And, by the time it was over, oh shit. Instagram, they just don't want you. My phone just like, damn Instagram. Oh Lordy. Figure out how to do it. Okay. Maybe it'll sit up like that. I'm trying IG. I really need y'all to go on and come on over to YouTube or Twitter or somewhere, because I'm trying to make this right for y'all. But anyway, because my largest audience, see, there I go. This is you know what? That's the perfect place to start, Instagram. because my largest audience in terms of the numbers is on Instagram. I spend a lot of time trying to migrate my Instagram audience over to Twitter. I'm sorry, YouTube. I think that there might be some sort of system in place where maybe the algorithm starts to discover, I don't know. But it's really hard to take that larger audience from one social media network and migrate it or move it on to another platform. And that is why Instagram, so I'm not distracted by trying to entertain y'all. Matter of fact, Instagram, come holler at your girl over on YouTube. How about that? Because that way I can give them my full undivided attention in the full Nights with Nicci episode. All right. And make sure when y'all come in there, y'all hit like and subscribe. Okay. I'll see y'all over there now. All right. Hold on. I'm coming, y'all. I know y'all like, bitch, we here. What they talking about? All right. Boom, bam, boom. Let's get into it because that was just a whole entire complete distraction. And my husband keeps telling me just to stay focused on my YouTube platform. So shout out to all of the YouTubers out there because I watch each and every one of you and I learn some valuable information and I learn in the process. This industry has really evolved. I was on Angie Stone's show the other day. Angie Stone has a YouTube channel, so you guys make sure you support our sister Angie. I cannot think. I think it's Angie Stone Secrets and something. But make sure you guys support her because she has her own YouTube channel as well. And we are going to get into some of these topics. And y'all got to bear with me a little bit because I lost all of my little stuff that was set up to get you guys updated. If you're watching me on YouTube, please do me the kind favor of hitting the like button as you come in so we can let the YouTube folks know that you are interested in this conversation. Okay? It's just a little objective perspective. I really appreciate you guys. All right. Let me go back to my history. See, I'm doing all of this now. I set it up, everything. I had all my stories lined up. Okay, we are talking about the Two Live crew today. And then we are also going to be talking about Keke Palmer today. Hold on. We're talking about Keke Palmer. We are also going to be talking about Oprah, and we are going to be talking about, where's my other story? Oh, Mark Lamar Hill checked. Not just Mark Lamar Hill, my son as well. Oh my God, so many good things that we need to unpack today. And then there was one more story. Hold on, you guys. I'm sorry, my system crashed, so I'm starting all over. What y'all doing today? What y'all cook? What y'all eat? Hold on. I feel like I had another very important. Oh, that actually is not a story. That is actually a video. So I will share that with you all. Please remember, if you are coming in to my YouTube channel, make sure that you hit the like, the share, and the subscribe button. The like button is super duper important. You know, hello to all of my Twitter folks. I really appreciate it. I'm doing some things on Twitter. I see some people on Twitter. So hello, you guys, and feel free to ask questions and don't be surprised if it pops up. Hello, yes, indeed, they cannot stop my blessings. They are not about to stop the blessings. In fact, the blessing train is just getting started. So let's get into speaking of blessings. That's a really, really, really good place for us to start on God, as they say in hip hop. So, according to Music Business Worldwide, a jury in Florida federal court has ruled that the Two Live crew members and their heirs can take back the master copyrights on their music. I'm going to say it one more time for the people in the back or over there on Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn that ain't came over here yet. A jury in Florida federal court has ruled that the Two Live crew members and their heirs can take back the master copyrights on their music. However, that might not be the last word in the ongoing legal battle, as lawyers for Lil Joe Records, which currently holds the Two Live crew copyrights, have filed a motion to overturn the jury's decision. The jury found that Two Live Crew's Luther Campbell and the heirs of the two other members of the group, Christopher Wong One and Mark Ross made a valid claim under the U.S. copyright provision that allows creators of works to take back their copyrights. So let me tell you, right? Matter of fact, not let me tell you. Hold on. Because I want to make sure that I am giving you guys a real response. I'm sorry, a vetted, Googled response. The 35-year copyright reversion clause is a provision in the U.S. copyright law that allows authors to reclaim their copyrights 35 years after transferring them to another entity. The clause applies to works that were not created as work for hire for an employer. The reclaim a copyright author must provide written notice to the copyright holder within 10 years of the end of the 35-year period. Now that's some old interesting slick shit, right? But it's all good, okay? Provide, and I don't know that that's completely accurate because it's kind of AI's description, and you know, AI, the finger's always off, so it's always might be a little something there that's inaccurate, but um, it also says provide them notice no later than 2 years before the copyright would terminate. Okay. And then the termination must occur during the 5 year period beginning 35 years after the work is published, right? Authors can use the termination of transfer tool from Authors Alliance and Creative Commons to determine if their works are subject to the 35-year copyright reversion rule. So let me go back to this Two Live Crew article. The jury found that the Two Live Crew's Luther Campbell and the heirs of the two other members of the group, Christopher Wong Wan and Mark Ross, made a valid claim under the U.S. copyright provision that allows creatives of works to take back their copyrighted materials. All of the albums we won, we got all our S asterisk, which I'm gonna go on ahead and say that it's Sugar Honey Iced Tea. They got all their Sugar Honey Iced Tea back from Lil Joe Weinberger. Campbell said in front of Dade County Federal Courthouse, as quoted by Rock the Bells. God is so good. You just gotta believe him. Ooh, hop hop. Amen. Thank you, Uncle Luke. Thank you. God is so good, you just got to believe him. Under Section 302 of the Copyright Act, a work's creators can request that the licensed copyright holders return copyrights to them 35 years after the work was created. That's for everybody. Who? Everybody. Why? Everybody. Two Live Crew's copyrights were held by Lil Joe Records, owned by Joseph Weinberger, who bought the rights for $800,000 in 1996 when Luther Campbell's label, Luke Records, was forced into bankruptcy court. Isn't that interesting? And we're gonna talk about bankruptcy again. We're gonna talk about bankruptcy a few times tonight because we're gonna talk about Keke White. I'm not Keke White. I'm sorry, sister. Keke Palmer talking about her bankruptcy, and you know I owe somebody $700,000 because I did what? Fight for my IP rights. But here we go. Let's stay on task. In 2020, Campbell, Mark Ross, and the heirs of the late Christopher Wong Wan sent a notice of termination to Little Joe Records, notifying the company that they would be taking back their master rights to Two Live Crew's first three albums. The Two Live Crew is What We Are, We Move Something, and Nasty as They Want to Be. The termination dates were set in 2022, 2023, 2024, and the 35th anniversaries, respectively, of the album's release dates. Little Joe Records filed a lawsuit against Campbell Ross, who died earlier this year, blah, 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 a bunch of stuff. So you guys can go to Music Business Worldwide to get more details, more specific details about this Two Live Crew situation. But let me just tell you guys, I think a lot of artists, I was looking at something, I wanted to pull that up too. And you know what, let me try to find it because, yeah, I want to try to find this because, hold on. You know, I'll save it for another show. I'm not going to hold y'all up because we've been kind of slow getting started, and it'll just be another topic for my long-winded ass to dive too deeply into. Or if we want to hear about it later, I'll bring it back up. But long and short is our brother Life Jennings was talking about the fact that he audited his label, and I don't know if this was literally or figuratively or what, but he said a Federal Express truck pulled up and they had like 40 boxes, and just talking about how difficult it is to do an audit, and Like I was told that everything was downstairs in the basement somewhere on microfiche, which you got to figure out. If that's the case, you got to figure out what's going to play it. You know what I'm saying? So that you can actually see. So um, it is a journey for artists and creatives to get their ownership of their masters and their copyrights back. And then once that occurs, then you have to think about the fact that a lot of these distributors allegedly have very close ties with the Spotify's and the Apple Musics and places. So because they do a lot of business with them. So I think the easier way to do it is to just have a very candid, straightforward, honest, decent conversation about how things could be better, so that you don't have to go through the legal process, and drain yourself mentally, spiritually, financially, and emotionally. Right? It's just the most sensible thing for anybody to do in any of these situations is to sit down face to face across from one another and speak to each other as adults now, right? Because when Two Live Crew and Brownstone and Life Jennings and Faith, everybody else, all the other young creatives and artists, when we were younger and we were kids and we were geeked up about being famous and shit, we didn't know what to say or how to have a real conversation about the preeminent business assets that we created, right? We had no flipping idea what ownership meant or what trademarking meant because we were kids from the hood. We just didn't know. Right now that we are adults and we're still learning, right? I still don't know all the things. I learned about the copyright rule, just only a few years ago, right? Who to thunk it that there's actually, you know, a rule that protects creatives and authors and artists and gives them the opportunity after 35 years to regain all their license back, and all their rights back on to the things that they created, right? Nobody tells you that. You understand what I'm saying? Like nobody's like, hey, let me do this deal with you, and at 35 years from now, the deal's going to basically be void. But imagine if there was more transparency between, especially in the space of creatives and artists. And I think that is a big part of why we have so much trash and garbage that we've disguised as like sexual liberation and freedom and artistic expression and shit, when really it's just, people being who they've been conditioned by a system that didn't give a flying frog leg about them. You know what I mean? Because, it's been 30 years of a very specific narrative in our community and in our culture that is very destructive and toxic. And we're going to talk about that too. Meech says, one thing I know is that when you begin to speak truth to power, come on, Big Meech, tell him. He said, here we go. This it, friend. He says, one thing I know is that when you begin to speak truth to power, the signal scrambles so it doesn't get out to the people. They may not censor you. I'm sorry, but they won't distribute your message. You understand? Meech also says, wasn't that Anita Baker's story as well? This 35-year reclaiming process. I remember she won her case too. Yep, she sure most certainly did. Hold on one second, you guys. We're gonna talk about that too. Just get a little bit of housekeeping done. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's better for business when people don't when creatives and artists don't know the value of their intellectual properties, and it's just really easy to paint a picture, negative, toxic, difficult, bitch. Speaking of that, well, before we get into the whole who you calling a bitch thing, right, which is ridiculous, but I'm gonna let the brothers talk. I want to share something with you guys, talking about specifically copyright ownership, trademark ownership, returns on those assets. Take a look at this, and then we're gonna talk about it.
Power comes from ownership because it is the only way you can control what you do, control what is seen on the air, control who works behind the scenes, and it is the only way you absolutely know for sure what is going to be represented and how you're going to be represented.
We're gonna do that one more time. Listen to what she says. Power comes from ownership. This is 1988 when I was in high school.
Real power comes from ownership because it is the only way you can control what you do, control what is seen on the air, control who works behind the scenes, and it is the only way you absolutely know for sure what is going to be represented and how you're going to be represented.
It's Friday. We ain't got no job. No. Baby, listen. She said she said two mouthfuls. It is the only way. It is the only way. It is the only way to power. Ownership. Please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. That is how we break through this shadow ban, is just by demanding that we get information that educates, informs, and legitimately pours into our community. Oprah Winfrey in 1988 understood very, very clearly. Matter of fact, I just really don't even know if y'all even understand. I'm gonna play it one more time because I want y'all to really take this in. And I want you, this time when I play it and y'all listen to it, I want you to, and I wish I had the tape of Tyler Perry saying the exact same thing pretty much about Lionsgate, by the way, right? Yeah. He demanded ownership. But I want y'all to listen to this again, right? And I want you to think about the wealthiest, high profile people of color that you know about. Think about the fact that Oprah, her company is owned, OWN. And this is 1988 when I was a 17-year-old senior in high school.
Only real power comes from ownership because it is the only way you can control what you do, control what is seen on the air, control who works behind the scenes, and it is the only way you absolutely know for sure what is going to be represented and how you're going to be represented.
It is the only way you know for sure what is going to be represented and how you are going to be represented. Ownership. That's it. Not a bag, not some shoes, not the streams that the person who owns the streaming platform can manipulate, not liquor, not popularity, not fame, not friends. Ownership. Tyler Perry said the same exact thing. Not the same exact thing. He said something very, 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 very similar, which is when I went to Lionsgate, I told them I have to own it. I was in Meet the Browns when he was doing his deals. And I was listening and I was paying attention and I was working and I was writing. And that's when I created Soul Kittens Cabaret, right? So imagine, and I know she always get on these lives and make it about her. Well, this is really about my experiences and how I think my experiences connect with my community, right? In a productive, proactive way, because we've been reacting to a lot of shit. So imagine when I heard Tyler Perry say, and I'm doing this play and I see the success and I see how he's able to, my ears hearing that, my eyes lighting up, seeing this successful man that's able to translate on both, from both stage and theater to television to film to being a mogul to owning his own studio, right? And I learned that in like 2007. And I still didn't quite get the ownership part, but the whole develop something, create something, pitch it, blah, 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 blah. I've definitely got while working with him. Imagine if in 1988, when Oprah made this statement about ownership and how important it is, how it is the only way to power. Imagine if that message was amplified out to hundreds of thousands or millions of people, right? and we were actually given the opportunity, like she was given, like Tyler was given, like, well, not given, like they seized, but the opportunities were there and available to them. Imagine if that was the norm. Imagine if Black people, BIPOC people, creative people, because this is an industry that we excel in, the same way hair care products, right? When you think about the hair care industry, let's talk about that, right? Let's talk. I think this is probably a really good analogy. Maybe not, but we're gonna find out. We'll talk through this shit and see what it is, right? But think about the hair care industry and how the hair care industry is predominantly run, the creators of it, the women and the men who come up with the product, they're African American, Black, BIPOC people, right? And when another company wants to come in, a larger company with more distribution, more reach to get it out to more people, then that company typically comes in and partners with the hair care, creator or person, because we all know that like a traditionally mainstream company, like I'm just gonna throw something out there, like a Revlon or whatever, that might not be in the space of like, you know, Main Choice or Mael or one of these Black brands, knows that realistically nobody's gonna believe that a white company created a Black hair care product, right? It doesn't go that way in entertainment. Well, it kind of does in that you get the face on the album and you go out there and you promote it, and like, but the ownership of it, the partnership of it, not the work for hire of it, because work for hires happen everywhere all the time. Please like this video. Please like this video. Thank you. If you like the video, it's going to push it out to more people, and then we can all come together and save the world with this knowledge. But yeah, it's just, I find it very frustrating that there are not more people in corporate America who clearly understand, like, for, hey, everything goes back to P Valley. I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. When you go and look at the people who own P Valley, well, I don't technically know who owns it, but I'm assuming that the people who gave Pretoria Hall $100 million own it, and that would be Lionsgate, Stars, whatever. But when you look at the producers and the writers and the EPs and the real powerful players on that show, P Valley, none of those, Katori and maybe one other person may be the only Black names at that high, like super executive level. And there's several, right? Several of them. And none of them look like they have had those lived experiences. Now, I know looks can be deceiving, right? But how a 65 or 75-year-old white man can speak or write or executive produce or make determinations based on the struggles of a sex worker in the dirty South or in Detroit, how they can control that narrative is baffling to me. It's quite possible that they've had those lived experiences, but how they can control that narrative is very difficult for me. So when I say that partnership and co-ownership opportunities, as Oprah has said, as Tyler has said, as Byron Allen has said, are so important to our stories, and not just our stories and narratives, but to our abilities to build generational wealth and wellness in this country. We cannot build generational wealth and wellness in this country if we don't have the opportunities to own the assets, the preeminent business assets that help us to build generational wealth and wellness in this country. When you look at most of the artists and the creatives from the 90s, which was 30 years ago, and I know it's 30 years ago because what? We gonna pause for the cause. I'm gonna give y'all some music. Pause for the cause, and then we gonna come back with the real shit.
Say it, do it, show it, prove it.
I think the industry has changed, yes, but I think that R&B music is still loved very much. It seems to be coming back little by little.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Ooh.
I'm so excited about that. You guys can join us for our live virtual single release party. We are doing a Q&A. I'm so excited about it. You'll get a chance to meet and greet and learn about the new and and improved, definitely. And when I say improved, I don't mean any disrespect to the past members of the foundation we were laid on. I'm just saying we're gonna take y'all back and we're gonna bring y'all forward. And this ride forward has been amazing, and I'm so grateful for my sisters and my sorors and my business partners, indeed. So, with that being said, ownership. We're 30 years. If You Love Me is turning 30 years old. 30 years old, which is mind blowing. It's crazy. And that means that there have been generational opportunities for building wealth, or should have been generational opportunities for building wealth, based on the fact that this is a one piece of product that has sold 30 been this album sold 35 million dollars worth of hard copies of this record. 35 million. We're 30 years later, If You Let Me, sold 35 million dollars worth of hard copies of that album. Over 1 billion streams between Tory Lanez and Future doing it, and just hearing our voice and the words that we put and the melodies we put together and how we created that song. Over billions of streams and $35 million worth of creativity purchased, hard copies, bought and paid for, at least, because we haven't done an audit, so we don't know. And we're struggling to get the very basic things that we need to make sure we can deliver another record, to make sure we can really get out there, and not just Brownstone, but every other artist and creative who did not have the benefit of hearing the message from Oprah Winfrey from 1988 that said ownership is the only way, and having that message amplified. Maybe not that specific message, but having that message, because who understands it at 18 or 19 or 20 or even 25 or 30 at that for that matter. But if we had more people of color in position, like Oprah said, and I'm gonna play it one more time. I'm gonna wear this shit out tonight because it's such an important message, more important than anything I could say to you.
Only real power comes from ownership, because it is the only way you can control what you do, control what is seen on the air, control who works behind the scenes, and it is the only way you absolutely know for sure what is going to be represented and how you're going to be represented.
So let's talk about representation. It's how you control who works behind the scenes. It's how you control the stories that are shown on camera. It's how you have control, or at least some control. And that's a really big conversation. Because I think that people mistake you saying that you want ownership and partnership in the intellectual properties that you create. People misconstrue that, and they think that you want to have control, hold control over something, hoard and control, and to prevent them from doing what they do. No, that's not it. What you do, chances are, you being the distributor, the person who comes up with the funding, to create the platform for the art to be exhibited and displayed, what you do is very important and very necessary and respected by creatives, because most creatives don't operate from that brain where it's like, okay, let me figure out how to market this shit. Let me figure out how to fund this shit. Now I have to do all of that as a creative because I don't trust no motherfucking body. My dad was helping me, he's gone. Mom was helping, she gone. You know what I'm saying? The people that were helping, people I had as a staff, unfortunately, because I've been in a lawsuit for the last 4 years, I don't have a staff really. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of shit that I hate doing that I'm not good at. I make a lot of dumb mistakes because as a creative, I'm not trained in the space of how to manage budgets and allocate time. I know how to do it. I've learned how to do it. But most artists aren't great at it, which is why so many of us end up bankrupt and so many of us end up financially busted and broken. And that's just bad business for an industry that relies on creatives and artists to make their money, or should. But now the AI has come along. It's a whole nother conversation. So let's get into something that's kind of a feel good. Hold on. Are we here? No. That's an early story. That's an early story. That ain't the story I want to get into. Hold on. Oh, that ain't the
So
story I
listen,
want to get
listen,
into
listen.
either. Hold on.
You know,
Where's my story at? Anyway, I can't find my doggone story. I'll just pop her in right here. There go my little sister right there. Boom. Keke Palmer opens up about living under her means after filing for bankruptcy at 18. Instead of Gucci, I'm wearing Zara. I got a Toyota in my driveway right to the now. I love this story so much for so many reasons. Um, According to People, it says here that Keke Palmer recalls being so spooked filing for bankruptcy at age 18. What went wrong? The actress opened up about her past money troubles at a Building Wealth Today for Tomorrow financial literacy event. Keke Palmer is recalling a time of real financial stress during an appearance on the Building Wealth Today for Tomorrow financial literacy event in Chicago. I was so spooked, she said. I was like, oh my God, what went wrong? Palmer, who began her Hollywood career at age 9, said that she and her parents hired a business manager in her teenage years. Although that has helped me immensely, she said, filing for bankruptcy later became essential. Very interesting. Now, the Nope star invests and spends way under what she can afford. I want to invest in my business. So if I want to invest in my business, then then the material things that I'm having currently might have to take a short break. Instead of wearing Gucci, I'm wearing Zara. I live in a good place. I drive a cool car because my money is going elsewhere. Okay. She also talked about speaking to People in March. The Emmy Award winning Password host said finances are something she talks about frequently with her parents, Sharon and Lawrence. Early in her career, they hired a business manager because they needed to get some financial literacy as a family. We grew together in the understanding of money. That is fantastic. And that is amazing. And that is something that I hope really goes far, because there's so many people out here who are ashamed. I've been there, of their lack of financial literacy. And it is something that has haunted and damaged our community for so many years, because we've never really had money. Our parents didn't really have money like that. Please hit like if you're watching on YouTube. I would really appreciate that. Thank y'all so much. As a matter of fact, let's take a look and see who's in here. Hey everybody. Hi guys. I see you. Partnership is working together. Absolutely. I would love to hear Oprah listen to her 30-year-old self and wonder what, ooh, Meech, that is a good one. I would love to hear Oprah listen to her 35-year-old self and wonder what her 70-year-old self would say now. Yeah, I would. Oh my goodness, what a conversation. That would be awesome. That would be awesome and fantastic. Soror, I see you. Hi. So I applaud Keke Palmer because, we work and live in an industry where people really want you to pretend like everything is gravy. And the thing about Diddy and all of this stuff that's happening, and pulling back the curtain, all of this fake shit, the thing that's so dope about that is that I think it gives us all an excuse to kind of just exhale and be like, well, damn, I thought that person had their shit together. So no wonder it's so hard for me. Right? I mean, because think about it. He was the example of like what Black excellence, for some, not for everybody, but he was an example of what Black excellence was for our community. And then to see him fall from grace to that degree is just really scary. But what's more interesting for me is to discover that some of the things that the community really thought he had ownership of, he did not own. Another company owned them. And that is what Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry and Byron Allen, and I think the other billionaire is Bob Johnson, and there's another one. I think that is the conversation that I would love to see all of those people come together and have within our community, like a transparent conversation about the difference between being a high paid marketer of some shit, right? Now, I totally get well, I don't totally get, but I understand that there's this thing where you do acquisitions and you get a business, you build it up and you sell it. And I was listening to Monique from Mael, and she talked about that a little bit when she did her deal. She did a very high value acquisition, and it was really impressive. I think it was like historic numbers, right? So yeah, I mean, if you that is the other benefit to ownership. You can sell the asset, but hopefully you do it with the understanding of what it would accrue over the years, and the fact that you'd be set up for life by selling your asset. But in our community, we Sheila Johnson, the co-founder. Thank you, Soror, very much for making it very clear. Sheila Johnson as well. That my question for all of them, all of the billionaires, all of the black billionaires. I mean no disrespect. How many have you helped become close to have? How many people have you put in, even if they didn't become billionaires or trillionaires or millionaires, how many people have you put in position to have ownership of the preeminent business assets that they may have created under your tutelage, right? I would love for a Tyler Perry or Oprah Winfrey or a Byron Allen, even if it isn't with me, but I would love to see one or all of those people take on the task of identifying one or two black owned businesses that they really get behind. And you know what, not just black owned businesses, media and entertainment is the most powerful tool in this country. We're going to learn about how powerful it is through this election. We have learned how powerful it is through how this Diddy story is going haywire, and 569 trillion. Oh yeah, let me write this down because I got to remember to talk about this. Mr. Pierce Morgan, I got some words for you, bro. Sir, we got to chat. But to get people within their industries in position to have more ownership, right? He or she who controls the media controls a part of the world, a very important part of the world. Succession is like my favorite show in the world. I can't wait for it to come back, but it's all about a media conglomerate that is owned by a very powerful person. And there are so few, because we all want to do these little subsets and these little, I want to do my own shit. I want to have my own. I want to have my own, as opposed to us coming together. Listen, I created WIRFTV.com, but baby, listen, if somebody was like, listen, I'm coming and partnering with you, I'm going to take the reins of this motherfucker. You just create the content and I'm going to do this over here. Then that is what it would be, because I understand the value of solid partnerships and people playing their position but working together to make something incredible, as opposed to everybody going in 5,000 different directions. Our community can't afford to do it. We don't have enough assets. Look at every major mogul, or who we thought was a major mogul in our community, and it should tell you as clear as day. Happy weekend. Thank you so much. All right, let's get into this next story. The next story is Usher. Usher has decided that he is going to, I don't know what it was that I was watching, but there was something I was watching at one point, and our dear brother Usher had kind of shied away from endorsing a political candidate. It was one of those, it's his business. And I get it. Totally get it. Politics are messy. But turns out that according to the Atlanta News First, Usher is set to speak at an Atlanta campaign rally for Vice President Kamala Harris on Saturday, which is tomorrow, I do believe. The Harris campaign said that the rally will focus on encouraging Georgians to vote early in person, which I did. Oh, it's over here. I did it. The event's exact location and time are currently unknown, which is a good idea. Early voting started Tuesday in Georgia and is just in 4 days. 1 million ballots have been cast across the state. In just 4 days, 1 million ballots have been Georgia, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of my I don't know, I'm a transplant, my current home state. I'm a Detroiter all day, but I'm here now. I'm here today. No, I love Georgia. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of the state of Georgia. Let's go, people. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. So I'm going to play this clip and hopefully I don't get too animated and too pissed off about it. But Piers Morgan has been he's been really active in the space of black people coming on his show. It's non-black people too, but here lately, I seem to see a lot of black indigenous people of color coming on his show, and none of them seems to hit me quite right. Right? I don't know what it is. I can't really put it into words. Um, I don't want to use the V word, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna lean into anybody being a vulture or whatnot, but it's very vulturistic, vulture like. You know what I mean? Because it just feels like there is just a lot of messy shit that happens as it relates to people of color on this show. And listen, I've always thought Piers Morgan was sexy. I ain't gonna hold you up. But I tell the truth, whether I think you're sexy or not, as a silver fox with the British accent. I thought it was in poor taste to allow this exchange and not intervene. And I understand a little bit about the pundit world because when Whitney Houston passed away, I did a bunch of appearances on CNN and HLN and all those ends. And there were moments where things got a little testy and a little heated. And I know we like to just let things go for clickbait or whatever, but with issues as important as this election and what this means to our community, and issues as important as SA and violence against women and all this other stuff, I just feel like you have to really allow people with an objective perspective that are not loud and over talking and disrespectful to have a position to have a conversation. And when they're not in position to have that conversation and ignorance is taking over, you got to reel it in as a host of a show. If you're going to have people, who are seeing our community represented through your lens, then make sure that it is solid representation, because I've just seen a lot of derogatory, borderline defamatory, disrespectful shit coming off of that platform. And I just think it's important that, because you're introducing our people to your audience and you have a huge platform, this is tough for us, Mr. Morgan. It's tough for us to know that young black people, some of them minors and children, are being SA'd, because you can't say the words on YouTube, which you can do everything else on this motherfucker. But anyway, the disrespect that women of color face every single day in the workplace, in corporate America, and everything we pursue. There's so many voices out there that you could bring to your platform that could really educate, inform your audience in a way that isn't about ratings and clickbait and sound bites and shit, but actually about bridging the gap and connecting your audience with people within our community that actually want to see solutions and not just salacious, bottom dwelling ass content that you can find on any street corner. Um, Lorenzo DeChalis, I want to say is his name, better known as old school rapper Lord Jamar, recently sparked outrage with inflammatory comments. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me give Baller Alert the credit for this article. Recently sparked outrage with inflammatory comments about the Vice President Kamala Harris during an appearance on the Art of Dialogue podcast. Jamar, known for his outspoken views, referred to Harris with a derogatory term, calling her a biatch. and suggesting that she wasn't qualified to work at Dunkin' Donuts. The remarks quickly ignited backlash, with many accusing Jamar of crossing the line and using unnecessary misogynistic language to criticize Harris in response to the growing controversy. He appeared on Piers Morgan Uncensored, where the political commentator Mark Lamont Hill confronted him directly about his offensive comments. You guys, take a look at this if you've seen it. We're going to come back and chat.
With Jamar, though, my brother, calling her, and again, I heard a bleep. I've been in the hood a long time. From that context, it sounded like you were calling her the B word. I couldn't see it, but I heard it. I'm not going to vote for that. Bleep sounded like the B word. I can't imagine a circumstance where we need to call her that. You know, in real life and in music, and there's just no reason for that. She doesn't deserve that any more than she deserves to be told that she's not qualified to run a Dunkin' Donuts. Those types of comments, I think, are unnecessary, even if you might agree that black people shouldn't be sheep. How does she disrespect you?
And it's the way, I'm sorry, Mr. Piers Morgan. Well, I guess, look, he the journalist, not me. Let me let y'all listen anyway.
By placating to me, by giving me word salads and all kind of nonsense, acting like she doesn't have to answer questions, being the artful dodger, that's very disrespectful.
You think she deserves to be called a B for that?
Well, listen, first of all, the platform I was on was a different kind of platform. We was, you know what I mean? It's a much looser platform. It's more.
Y'all listen. Let my son say it. Hold on.
So listen. You know, all politics and all that shit aside,
Yep.
you know, vote for who you want to vote for.
Exactly.
You don't want to vote for somebody, you don't like nobody, nobody can't force you to vote for nobody. Fuck all that. Vote for who you think you feel most comfortable voting for. That, now that we got that shit off the table.
Right.
To the God, Lord Jamal, somebody that I have respect for, somebody I've been in proximity with, close with. The shit you just did right now was a whack nigga shit. I don't even expect that from you. That's not even the character that I know of you. To constantly call that woman a bitch, to double down about calling that woman a bitch because you don't like her politics. Right. You don't know that lady. She ain't did nothing to harm you. She ain't did nothing to disrespect you. But because you don't like the way that she's running her campaign, you decide to call that woman a bitch. That's
okay. I got to pause it periodically because of the algorithm and just making sure there's fair use and whatnot. Right there. Because you don't like her policies and because you're not going to vote for her, you decide to call this black woman out of her name on a national platform when you know that so many people are out here looking for black men to disrespect this woman, to amplify the message of her being exactly that. And you're a public figure with a ton of followers and a ton of people. And my son said it best. I'm a fan, like, woo, like, you know, was because, and that's the reason you got to be careful about who you call yourself a fan of, because shit'll flip and you be like, oh, for real. But let him say a little more and then I'll come back.
not man shit. It ain't nothing. It was nothing real about that. It's not nothing. The God, I don't even know how the gods ain't call you in, because this goes against everything the gods in the earth represent. When we start violating women, fuck if you think she black or what. When did it be cool for you to just disrespect a woman because you don't agree with them? When did we just start getting on this internet just saying anything? Y'all taking this internet shit too far. Like, this internet is making you go against the man that you are.
Woo! He said, this internet shit is making you go against the man that you are. Come on, my son.
The man that I know you to be, King. This shit don't even coincide with who you are, who you present to be. So I'm just confused. So this is what we gonna do now, because now we just gonna completely lose all our morals and integrities and shit for this internet, just to go viral and all that shit. This is what we doing? Like, we just gonna everything, we gonna turn into the low vibrational niggas we gonna turn into the academics, and then we gonna follow the blueprint of the suckers
Yep.
for some level of attention? Because it
Yep.
ain't that serious. You don't want to
Yep.
vote for you. I don't.
That shit is about clout. He please continue. Follow my son. I love his perspective. Listen, I'm not gonna, get into it with a grown man, especially a fellow artist and creative. And I'm not, that's not what I'm here for. Please hit the like button. Please hit the like button as you come in. Yeah. I still don't understand how this race is so close. The issue with Pierce, this race is so close. The issue isn't Pierce Morgan. Why do we need to feel validated by going on these shows? What? Judge Joe Brown called her? Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Okay, Miss Nicci, it's just becoming very obvious that there is hate towards Black women. You can't look at the resume of both presidential candidates and not see VP Harris as qualified, overqualified, and a better human. And they're trying not to let her define herself as Black so that they can continue to disrespect her. 100%. 100%. I have seen, and listen, you guys, this is the thing. I'm not claiming to be no political scholar. I don't know as much as I should about the political process, right? There's so much more I could learn. And I'm a lot more aware now because of my husband and my friends. Shout out to Christine Beatty, who just really opened my eyes to a lot as it relates to politics. And we're going to re-air the episode of She Speaks Live, which we did right after the presidential debate. But I know enough to know that for almost 300 years, this country has been led by men, all white, one Black, right? And women are just as capable of leadership as men. I know that, there is this very misogynistic energy in this world that leads people to believe that women are trying. First of all, we're not trying to be men. We're not trying to take your job. We're not trying to, you know what I'm saying? That shit is so corny and dated and tired, right? What we're trying to do is help save our country. What we're trying to do is provide opportunities for people other than the extremely wealthy people in America to actually have a shot at the American dream, right? Like, people who don't pay attention to politics at all, who know nothing about, who probably don't know the legislative branch, the branches of government, right, are just riding this narrative about getting more money because of Donald Trump, because they believe that Donald Trump gave us these stimulus checks out of the kindness of his heart because he wanted to see poor Black people win. That's some bullshit. That is not what it was. That is not what it was. I don't know how to tell you. And it's crazy to me because you will allow women to take care of your households. You will allow women to handle the business of the households. You will allow women to take care of your children, to educate your children, right? Why do you not feel that it is appropriate for a woman to lead the country? Every other country in the world has females in leadership, and they're doing fine. And because we have lived and breathed in a space of misogyny and power and chauvinism and racism and all this other shit, we have a problem saving ourselves, choosing the best candidate out of the two. Listen, if there was a more qualified Republican candidate, I could understand you maybe thinking about voting red. Okay, right? If there was a more qualified Republican candidate than Kamala Harris, vote red all day. But you're just voting red because you don't want to vote blue. It ain't got shit to do with her qualifications. It has nothing to do with her policies because most of y'all don't know them. You're just doing it because you want to be difficult. And you want to knock down a Black woman because you don't want her thinking she too big for her britches. You want her to behave. Every time a man feels threatened by a woman, They go minimizing her accolades and disrespect. Even worse is when it's from our own folk. Exactly. That is so small of him and any other person that would stoop to that level, right? Pandering to this power structure. Like, I don't know, maybe black men think that white men are going to include them in on their, golf outings. Maybe some of these black men out here disrespecting Kamala Harris think that the good old boys club is going to invite them in, let them have a couple of brandies with them, hang out with them and their women. Somebody said, don't save them, they don't want to be saved. We are the only progressive nation in the world that hasn't had a woman president. Thank you, Soror. We are the only progressive nation in the entire world. Please hit like, that has not had a woman president. And it is all because we want Donald Trump. That's the reason we're not voting for Kamala. The Democrats approved the stimulus. Trump just wanted his name on the check. Under Trump's administration, we had an insurrection, a pandemic, and an attempt to steal an election. WTF? What the fuck is wrong with some of us? Lauren says, don't be fooled. Ooh, this is a good one. Susie B said they got Stockholm syndrome. Yep, and do, and did, and does. Kamala Harris is the most qualified candidate for president of the United States, and Kamala Harris is going to win. Kamala Harris is going to win because this is what I believe. I believe that although many of our own will drink the Kool-Aid and be dumb ass motherfuckers and cast or not cast a ballot, not cast a ballot or cast a ballot in the direction of hell. But I believe that women, white women, Indian women, Asian women, black women, I believe that we are all going to come together. I believe the LGBTQIA community is going to come together. I believe that any young girl in the world who wants to have control over her own body and determine her own medical decisions is going to vote for Kamala Harris. I believe anybody who is of a certain age, who understands what it's like to be a caregiver for family members and elderly, I believe all those people are smart enough to know that there's only one way to vote, and that is blue for Kamala Harris and Walz, period. I don't think anybody who has any sense is going to vote over there. And if you are voting over there, then you're either in need of Ritalin or you're, endorsing racism in Project 25. Period. That's it. I mean, because and the thing is, I don't like to get into the vitriol and the mudslinging and name calling and all this other shit, but we are 5 days away from the election. Not really, but might as well be. And this isn't the time to experiment and play games. And all of this dumbass clout chasing out here, calling her names. I saw the girl, Alexis Sky, say that her and her people and the young people voting for and whatever. And listen, I mean, no disrespect at all, but if you have a special needs person in your life, and it is my understanding that she does, you have to make sure that you're thinking about that when you're casting that ballot, when you've got millions. See, this is the danger of those kinds of conversations. And it really, I debated about whether or not I was going to even show the disrespectful comment from the brother on Pierce Morgan on my page. Because when you got platforms that go out and reach, tens of thousands of people, you got to really be careful. Alexis probably has a few million people following her. And a lot of those people are probably first time voters, younger voters, whatever. I think it's really hella irresponsible when you don't know what the hell you're talking about in all of our lives, in your child's life, and your parents and family members' lives all depend on this election. Like, this is the realest shit ever. Because, I mean, think about it. You know what I mean? They're making it clear that they don't give a damn about us. Right? And you guys talk all the time about we've been voting blue and Democratic and Democratic. Here's the thing, yo. Here's the thing I want you to know. All of that, we've been voting Democratic. We've been voting Democratic. We've been voting blue our whole lives and ain't nothing happened. This is a fact that I want you to take in, and I need you to just lean into this with me. All of you people out there who keep talking about how many times that you voted Democrat and nothing has happened. You have never voted for a Black woman president in your life. It has never happened. It has never happened. You have never been able to vote for a person who looks like you, for a person who was educated in the same institutions that you were educated in, for a person that is a member of Divine Nine organizations that many of us are a part of, for a person who understands what it means to take care of elderly parents who are sick, for a person who knows what it means to be treated less than the misogynistic person in the office upstairs. Somebody who understands what it means to have lack of equity and lack of equality. Somebody who understands what it means to be the average American who was not born with a silver spoon in their mouth. For the first time in the history of this country, you have the opportunity to vote for a Black woman. And let me tell y'all something about Black women, right? Because it's really sad and so disheartening the way we're treated and disrespected. Because think about your mama. Think about your grandmother. Think about your sister. Think about your daughter. Think about your nieces. Think about the older Black woman that you help across the street, or the older Latin woman that you go and patronize in a restaurant. Think about those people and how proud and represented they will be to have someone leading this country that is overqualified to do it, that looks like them, that comes from the same experiences they come from. We have never had that. We have never experienced leadership in America that actually look like the people that are supposed to be leading this country. Y'all getting caught up in all of these minute little details and all of this bullshit that is propaganda and lies. And you're going to risk not voting for a Black woman for the first and possibly, let this shit happen, last time ever in your lifetime, in your grandmother's lifetime, in your auntie's lifetime, in your sister's lifetime, in your daughter's lifetime. You got to stop running with this narrative that Kamala Harris is not Black, because that's dumb as hell. She is. She went to Howard University. She pledged AKA. Her father was Black. Somehow you want to diminish how Black she is because you want to justify clowning her because you don't like the idea that she's a woman. You would rather have a man so out of touch with your community and the needs of your community because he is a man than have someone in office that will protect your daughter. What kind of father are you? What kind of brother are you? What kind of son are you? What kind of uncle are you to not step up to the plate and vote for a qualified candidate because she looked like your mama? or your cousin or your grandmother. I'm gonna stop because I'm taking it personal. Let me see what y'all gotta say. Yeah, okay. Lauren says we just got the first black woman in the Supreme Court justice in over 300 years. Yeah, see, let me tell y'all something. Brothers, let me speak to the brothers again. Until you have been through this judicial system, and those of you who have been lucky enough to not be a part of this judicial system, bravo. I hope you never have to go there. But until you have been a part of a judicial system that has had, a lot of challenges being, oh God, I can't even really have the conversation I want to have because I'm inside of this system, and I got to be careful and choose my words. That's not freedom. Presidents choose judges and justices, and judges and justices make determinations about your life, the brother that was executed wrongfully, cases that should be going to trial that don't, people that get away with the M word, corporations that get away with abuse in our communities. Those judges, presidents make those decisions. And here's the thing that a lot of you legal scholars really need to consider. Unlike with the president of the United States, when a judge is selected, it is when a federal judge is selected, it is a lifetime appointment. That means as long as they live. Period. No matter how their views change, no matter how conservative, no matter how old they get, there's justices on the bench that are in their 90s right now. Judges on the bench in their 90s right now. And they're making decisions about an 18-year-old's life, a 14-year-old's life, a 30-year-old's life. And you just want to make sure we have a fair shot. And when you have a president that represents the people, you have a better shot at making sure that the entire system reflects and represents the people, especially when those appointments are forever, forever, ever, forever, ever. Let me reset the room with another Brownstone promo, then I'm going to come back and get more into some of y'all's questions.
Say it, do it, show it, prove it.
I think the industry has changed, yes, but I think that R&B music is still loved very much. It seems to be coming back little by little.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, ooh.
That's right, you guys. Come party with us Tuesday, October 22nd, 10 p.m. brownstoneofficial.com/contact. If you are a member of Worth TV or a member of our YouTube channel, then you'll be able to join in on our virtual celebration. If You Love Me is turning 30 years old, you guys. I don't want to rain on this parade, but I'm starting to question the love that was made. Turning 30 years old, guys, on October 24th. So we're releasing a new single, and the new single is a reimagination of our hit single, If You Love Me. And our album turns 30 on January 10th. Oh my God, can you believe it? Our album turns 30 on January 10th. And we're going to be releasing it on January 10th. And we'll have a big album release party that all of you are invited to. This one is going to be in the physical and in the virtual. All right. 45 actually said he's going to shut down the Department of Education. What kind of ish is that? So, yeah. Okay. And people still want to vote for 45. So he's going to be 45 and 47? That's crazy. I think it's relevant to mention that some of these celebrities, black celebrities, are getting a paycheck to endorse Trump, please believe that. I don't know that to be true, but if it is, shame on you. That's all I got to say. Remember the movement saying black women are too strong and don't support black men, yet this narrative is shown giving license to others to disrespect us, suggesting our men do, and so should they. Absolutely. I agree with you. He called January 6th a day of love. I'm so angry with his insulting comments, and the legacy media wouldn't let Biden get away with this. Absolutely not. Um, don't forget, Chrisette Michelle took a check to perform at his inauguration celebration. And her, okay, since I read that out loud, let me say this. I think that Chrisette Michelle has paid the dues that she needs to pay or needed to pay for that decision. I think before we knew what we know about him, anybody who endorsed that prior to really knowing what we know now deserves an opportunity to come back from that and say, yeah, and I think, I think it's important to mention that there is a lot of responsibility and onus on the Democratic Party to do better. I'm not suggesting that because I voted for Kamala Harris today, and I voted blue all the way down the ballot, that there is not work that needs to be done in the Democratic Party, because there's tons of it that needs to be done. But what people don't tend to realize is that you can't just come into the office and just make all these changes and make everything better. There's a Senate, there's a whole bunch of obstacles that you have to get past in order to make certain things happen. And I think rather than say, I'm just not going to vote Democratic because Democrats haven't given me what I want, you've never had a black woman on the ballot before. Black women are magic. Black girl magic is a real, actual thing. I know y'all don't want to hear that and y'all don't like that. And that's part of the reason why I have such an issue with some of the narratives and depictions out here that depict us as angry and out of control and hypersexual and all this other shit, because it really paints this picture that a lot of people can't get out of their heads, and it's so irresponsible of the media to keep perpetuating that stereotype, because now we have a black woman running for president and people want to disrespect her as if she was a female hip-hop artist getting into a beef online. Let's go here as well. We stopped voting full tickets to give our Democratic president we stopped voting full tickets to give our Democratic president the help they need to get these bills passed and the agenda promises done successfully. Absolutely. I have realized, hold on, you guys, your stuff is really small. Let me get this a little bigger. I've realized for some men that the resentment comes from being expected to protect the black woman and feels he's incapable because he's never felt protected. You can't be something you do. This is why I love these nights with Nicci, because y'all are so smart, and that was really powerful. I'm gonna read it one more time because it was so powerful. That was good. I've realized for some black men, the resentment comes from being expected to protect the black woman, and he feels he's incapable because he's never felt protected, and you can't be something that you didn't see. Wow. True, indeed. But this is where I'm going to give you a little pushback. We have seen glimpses of what being a good, strong, supportive, protective black man. We've seen some images of that. Even if we've seen it in like movies and TV shows, whatever, instinctively we know. I saw a video, it's really interesting. I saw a video of two people walking down the street. Y'all might have saw the video too. Two people walking down the street, a truck flipped over, and right as the truck was about to collapse on top of this guy's friend, he like yanks him out of the way and throws him to the ground. That's an instinct. That's a reflex. Brothers, I totally get that it is difficult for you to emulate or become something that you've never had represented in your life. But I have friends who got two parents that was crackheads, and every one of their siblings made the wrong choice. And they, either through instinct or seeing or reading or engaging with other people, saw opportunities and ways to become better. And I think if we keep using the excuse of, I didn't have it, so I don't know how to give it to you, then we'll never get anywhere, because as a Black community, we all come from slaves. Well, allegedly, most of us. And if you live in this country, your servitude, we're not that many generations away from that, And I think that you just have to make the decision, as the one who breaks the generational curse, to figure out how to be a more supportive man, because at the end of the day, women can use the same excuse. What you said is so true. Two things can be true. I don't want to take anything away from what you said, because it is true. It's difficult. Like I say all the time, you just cannot, if you don't see it, you can't believe it, and you can't become it. But our community, especially right now, we at Code Red, man down Code 10. Shout out to Frankie, rest in peace. And we've got to figure out how to break through not having the knowledge of those things and figure out how to acquire it. It's like I said earlier when I was talking about Oprah saying ownership is the only way in 1988. I was 17 years old. Oh my God. I would have loved to have that knowledge and that information, or other people in our community to have it so they could pass it down. But it's just not how it works for us. And we have to figure out a way to figure that out. Not even the Black Trump supporters came to her rescue. They shunned her as well. That was a total disappointment. Yes. Nikki, make sure y'all come to Indianapolis. We will certainly try. Lauren says Chrisette for sure did pay her dues, but we still love her. Let's move on from that. I think she's learned a lesson. Yep, that's really important. We have to start learning how to stop condemning our people. I saw a blog where they were talking about Big Meech and all the people that were celebrating him coming home. Well, the whole point of him going to jail is to pay for what he did. White people do it all the time. Folks do it all the time. And if no one sin is greater than another, if somebody pays their penance and serves their time, then allow them the opportunity to be celebrated as a changed, reformed human being who has not committed another crime before you just put that on them. Let people recover from the shit they did, because we all make mistakes. Those stereotypes have been around since the beginning of the entertainment industry. Unfortunately, working on changing that over at Women in Reality Film and Media. Yes, we most certainly are. Please make sure that you go to WIRFTV.com. And you guys, we have a Cash App. And I'm going to put it up here because, if you're feeling froggish, why don't you go on ahead and leap right on into it? Because at Worth TV and Worth Media, we believe that content is queen. And also, we are a very small independent media company, and we are working to share an alternative perspective on the issues impacting our community every day. So if you like it, please support us. Please, please, please. Remember how President Obama was blocked in it all and promised to do, blocked in all he promised to do, as the Senate and the House were Republican led and they set out to destroy his presidency. Exactly. You guys have to understand, a president can have their hands tied by the Senate and the House, which is why it's so important that you vote blue all the way down the ballot. Period. Brother Calvin says, it's my 22nd birthday. I requested access already and I'm waiting. Congratulations. Yes, we got to sing a little happy birthday moment. We got to do a little happy birthday moment. I remember a time when celebrities were allowed to support our president regardless of sides. It made America look strong and united. Yes. And, I get people especially after I saw that Alexis Sky comment. I was like, okay, now this is why they don't want celebrities talking about politics. Okay, I see. But I get people not wanting us to really, and my husband used to say it all the time, like, stay out of the political conversation. We can't do that this time. It's not possible. Again, I say, and I know I got a little rough around the edges and kind of said it with my chest and rolled my neck and stuff. This is the first time ever in the history of America that a woman of color has an opportunity to lead the country. Could be the last time in all of our lifetimes. Don't believe for 5 minutes that you will get more empathy and understanding and more of a plan of action from a wealthy Nepo baby than you will a hardworking, educated, tried and true, tested, overqualified woman of color. She's just going to do a better job. And I know a lot of y'all can't handle that. And I know a lot of y'all are angry for a lot of reasons. Maybe women have done things to you in your life and you just, I'll be damned if the world is run by a woman. For God's sake, I'll never let a woman run anything. But then the minute something goes wrong, you hollering for your mama or your wife. The one thing that you will lose your freedom over is your daughter or your sister or your mama. So the same protection that you give the women in your life every day that you love, the same honor and respect that you give the women in your life every day that you love, give it to our Vice President Kamala Harris and allow this woman and her VP to change this country for the better. Because y'all gonna fuck around and find out that this is a rich boy's party and you are not invited. And you are just a tool that is being used by the incompetent to sow division and destruction in your community, aka dumbass. I know I can do better and be less offensive to people, but I mean, at this point, we had code red. Present company excluded, this new generation of celebrities aren't the same as when we were growing up. It looks different. Yes, let's talk about that a little bit. Thank you so much, Seabreeze40. Thank you. Please hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Shout out to my Twitter family, them Twitter fingers, I see y'all, and shout out to my Worth TV YouTube family. I really appreciate you all. Thank you. Celebrity looks different. That's where we were. I have personally watched over the years as the entertainment industry has just turned into Sodom and Gomorrah. I get in trouble a lot. I think I said this on the live last night or the night before, because I tend to be very honest about how disappointed I am in what being a celebrity looks like and feels like today. I came up in a time when you wanted to be an artist and a performer and an entertainer because it represented success and class and, the best of the best. And you were able to share your gifts to inspire and lift and entertain your community. And now it's turned into an industry where you have to figure out how to outsell your ass and your repulsive, nasty, bad bitch behavior. You have to outsell the woman in front of you or behind you in order to maintain the position as the bad bitch, or in order to maintain the position as, the most ill rapper, in order to act bad, in order to, go viral. Anything to go viral. It doesn't matter. Sex goes viral. Rapping about rugs with a D in front of it goes viral. Rapping about the or beefing with your fellow comrades goes viral. Reading people, cussing people out, outdressing people goes viral. And there's no room, or doesn't seem to be any room, for real talent, real developed, um, authentic, organic talent, because the space is just overcrowded with garbage and trash. But what's so sad about it is it's Black artists and Black creatives. I don't know this to be true for sure or not, but is Taylor Swift selling liquor or ass? Are the Menendez brothers selling liquor and partying and doing drugs with a D in front of it? Are the biggest pop bands in the country, the 2Ks or K2s or K-pops or whatever, are they successful because they're rapping about the other Asian brothers that they put in the cemetery? No. That's almost exclusive to the Black community. The only community that has to do all that in order to be successful, ironically, is the most talented and gifted community on the planet. But your talent and your gift are not enough if they're not accompanied with stories of trauma and loss and hypersexual narratives and images. And it's just sad because our community doesn't realize the agenda and how the idea of celebrity and fame has destroyed our community. I mean, every time I get on live, I run down the list of immensely, incredibly talented people who are no longer with us. But what's crazy is that their art is making money for people who look nothing like them, families who aren't theirs. So when we open up with a story like Two Live Crew and their heirs win their catalog back and their masters and their intellectual property rights back, that's something to be celebrated. When y'all read that after this hearing on December 5th with the Ninth Circuit Appeals Court, 3-judge panel, when you're celebrating our win, when we win the case against Stars, Lionsgate, and P Valley, because we're going to win, because God says so. We have to learn how to celebrate greatness and not just celebrate viral, absurd moments, because we're better than that. And other communities don't have to do it. And I hope that once we are able to sift through this Diddy thing and really get a real good look at who really is involved in all of this, in addition to him, and really, I think I was watching a video. I'm gonna talk about that probably on Sunday when I go live again. Please hit the like button. I have a video I'm gonna show you guys on Sunday that's gonna kind of blow your mind. I finally feel like somebody's thinking about this whole Diddy thing the same way I'm thinking about it. And see, I'm not laughing and joking about baby oil and the Cassie incident was horrible and terrible, but I'm way past that. I think that there's a ball that is a hammer or whatever you call it that's about to drop, that's gonna just set the whole industry on fire, yeah, burning up. The industry's burning up. Burning up. The industry's burning up. I'm on fire, yeah. It's a mess. All right, guys. What time is it, Miss Clock? Hour and 30 minutes. Let me look and see if there are any more questions. Exposing people goes viral too. But you know what? Here's the thing. you really have to think about the power that you give people when you really give a fuck about all this exposing stuff, right? We're in this whole breaking news, exposing such and such. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, if it's not going to push the culture forward and take predators off the street and shit like that, if it's just gossip and salacious and they was having a sex party and all stuff and it's not anything criminal, that's the thing. Like, we get so caught up in this shock culture and this exposure culture. It's kind of like people will be talking about that shit today and thinking about the next person they're trying to expose tomorrow. So it's kind of a waste of time and effort, unless, of course, you're someone like what we're seeing here in this whole freak off situation. But again, everybody deserves their right to the free trial, and everybody is innocent until being proven guilty and in a court of law. And it's really interesting to me because it just feels like this thing is going to get so much bigger than Diddy. I'm just going to leave it there. I think this thing is going to be so much bigger than Diddy. And I challenge everyone to be less concerned about people's sexuality and whether they sleeping with men or women and blah, 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 and really think about the victims and how this re-victimizes them when you make light of something so serious. And Mr. Pierce Morgan, I get it. We all out here trying to eat, baby. I'm trying to turn my 62 followers into 6,200,000 right now. But dig into the crates a little bit. There are some really amazing pundits and political scholars and experts and legal minds and people that you can bring on the show. Mark Lamont Hill was a great choice. And honestly, as much as I don't agree with Candace Owens, I'm not mad at Candace Owens. I'm just really disappointed at the brother who called the black woman who's running for president of the United States the B word. Who you calling a bit? UNITY. UNITY. That's my unity. UNITY. Love a black woman from infinity to infinity. UNITY. UNITY. That's my unity. UNITY. Love a black man from infinity to infinity. That's the solution. Unity and loving black women and loving black men, and stop calling us bitches. And Pierce, you owe our vice president an apology for allowing a man who called her the B word on your platform. Same way you had to give one to Jay-Z and Beyonce. Listen, I'll come talk about it. Long as we can talk about ownership. Because here's the thing, right? And then I'm gonna let y'all get out of here, right? If I'm gonna say that. I'm going to say that. Okay, my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful people. Any other questions? Oh, I hope they catch. Oh, wow. Man, listen, so much stuff is going on out here in these streets. You guys, protect your minds, protect your bodies, protect your spirits. I'm going to play this Brownstone promo one more time for y'all. Then I'm going to come back and we're going to wrap this thing up. You guys, if you don't know, Brownstone is releasing a new single on October 24th, which is the anniversary of If You Love Me. The song turns 30 years old. Check it out.
Say it, do it, show it, prove it.
I think the industry has changed, yes, but I think that R&B music is still loved very much. It seems to be coming back little by little.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, ooh.
Man, I can't wait to share this new record with y'all. It's a good, good, good record. I will say this. During our virtual meet and greet, you'll have opportunity. It's funny because somebody asked, haha, this is funny. I'm gonna talk about this a little bit on our virtual listening party. But somebody on YouTube was like, Nicci, I noticed that you throw your high notes to the new members. Why are you always giving your high notes to the new members? Baby, like I said earlier today, Do you ask Shaq why he throws or hands the ball, passes the ball to Kobe? Do you ask Michael Jordan why he passes the ball to Scottie Pippen? Because we are a team. Teamwork makes the dream work. And there is about 15 years between me and Alexis. She is a soprano. She is an incredible singer. I cannot wait. They both are. But I cannot wait for you to hear the gifts that are in this trio right now. And rather than me and my 54, about to be 55-year-old ass, working my ass off to hit notes I was hitting when I was 23, just like an athlete, baby, we get older, things. I can still sing my ass off, but I'm a little more comfortable in that register. And Brownstone, we SANG, we weren't singers, we were singers. So everything was big and full and high and natural. And let's give the youth the opportunity to shine in that space. Now you still go get it from mama. Now don't play with me. Now. You still gonna get it. But I'm in a space where I want to feel more comfortable and perform in a more comfortable register, and I'm probably gonna re-answer this question again when we do our listening party. But even with Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston and other, at some point, all those, you know what I'm saying? That when you young and fresh and fine, fabulous, it comes out just fine. But as you get older, you have to find alternatives. And I didn't want to change the key because I want viewers to have that same nostalgic feeling and vibe. So rather than me like changing the key and bringing it down or whatever, we kept it right there where it was. And some nights I might give it to y'all. But if I feel like I ain't got it, my sister's got my back. And not only that, it's a great opportunity, like I said, more important than anything. When you look at the Lakers, and you look at the Bulls and you look at all these amazing teams, the younger players, look at Steph Curry, baby, stop. Brownstone, I said it before. Our thinking is like we're a brand, like an NFL team and an NBA team. Baby, bring in the rookie. They on an all-star. What they say, I'm the rookie on this all-star team, baby. Let the rookie take the ball and run with it. Because when the team wins, everybody wins. And that is why I pass the mic. The same reason the athlete passes the ball. Any other questions, you guys? Anything else y'all want to know? The listening session is October 22nd at 10 p.m. We are going to be talking about the concept for the new album. We're going to give you guys a couple of sneak peeks into the vault. We're not going to give y'all everything because we're saving much of it for the album release, which is happening January 10th, 2025. We are on the road with Keith Sweat. We got November, December. We're out there with Keith having a good old funky time. Keith and Cut Close in Augusta is next. Enjoy your weekend, Nicci. I love your energy. Thanks for sharing your beautiful gifts. Congratulations on 30 years. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm probably gonna come back and kick it with y'all on Sunday. I got to get back into my nightly thing because the algorithm definitely, be wanting you to put in the work. So please hit the like button. Please hit the share and subscribe button. And please go to brownstoneofficial.com/contact so that you can register to hang out with me, Aaron, and Alexis. And we got a few surprises coming up on October 22nd. And on all platforms, every platform, every which a well, you can get that Brownstone single, If You Love Me. Yes, we are redoing the original. Hey, buddy, you want to say night-night? Hi, guy. Say night-night. Hello to the people. It's time to go. It's time to go. Yes, it is. Oh, my gosh. Okay, guys, say night. Say goodnight, Kato Wado. I don't want him to get no big globber slobber on me. All right, guys, be safe. Love each and every one of y'all. Thank you for your support. Please hit the like and subscribe button. And of course, our Cash App is $fight4worth. Don't hate the media. Become the media. Peace.